While the U.S. economy remains far from robust, indicate two important factors, falling gas prices and rising consumer confidence, suggest that the nation's economic momentum could be picking up. This is according to the latest monthly survey by the National Association of Convenience Stores, a trade group that represents stores that account for about 80% of the gasoline sold in the United States. Let's learn a little bit more about this from Clark Hodges, who's a financial expert for 1320 WILS and Fox News Radio. He's a financial strategist. Clark, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing very well. So the economy has been sluggish, yet consumer confidence seems to be somewhat upbeat. Tell us about it.
Well, I do think that gas prices being low, you've got a monthly expense for most people that traditionally fluctuates pretty severely. One month it's up, 1 month it's down, and normally it's up this time of year. Summer months, driving, vacations, it's usually pretty high. But for some reason, even considering all the bad news we have in the world, gas prices have come down, and it does kind of make people feel a little bit better when they're out shopping, when they're going to buy some gas. They may go in and buy some candy or some chips or Coke or what have you. And I do think it makes everybody feel a little bit better, which helps consumer confidence. And I do think the stock market and looking at their overall situation being better than it was, say, this time last year or 2 years ago, that they do feel a little bit better and feel like spending, and that's a key ingredient in spending is your mood.
Do you think this will last through fourth quarter?
It's really hard to tell. It's one of those indicators that could change next week. You could have a 10 or 20 cent move up in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then just do the opposite, where people feel like they're not able to spend a little extra this month. They feel a little bit worse about their overall situation. So it's a short-term indicator, could change on a dime, but this being an election year, I wouldn't be too surprised if prices stayed in this range through the election, which is November, early November.
How much could gas prices help fuel the rising economy?
It's a small factor given everything out there. It's an important factor because it does have a lot to do with your confidence and your mood, but it's a small factor.
All right, and what concerns you most going into fourth quarter here about the economy? What are you going to be looking out for? What are you worried about?
Jobs are a big deal. That's always a big deal. Gas prices is a big deal. Oil prices is a big deal. Stock market staying relatively even. If we had a stock market correction of 15, 20%, that would worry a lot of people going into the holiday season. If we're in this situation we're in right now, we stand to have a much better holiday retail season than we did last year. And so that would be a real positive.
Yeah, Clark, it's not talked about a lot, but the price of foods has increased. Pork is up, cheese, dairy products are up, although slightly. Any concerns there?
You've got those concerns. A lot of them are weather-related. Sometimes the drought affects crops, and it affects crops, and then it affects the feed for beef and stuff. So those kinds of situations can arise pretty fast. But I think when the American consumer realizes the products that they need, the eggs, the milk, the meat, that they're going up a little bit, they just tend to have to cut back in other areas rather than stop eating those bellwether foods. And I think maybe one of the things that would be hurt by that is eating out at restaurants as opposed to eating in. So that's always a worry and always a factor. But it tends to take a while for a drought or something like that to affect the prices you pay in the grocery store.
Clark Hodges is a financial expert for 1320 WILS and Fox News Radio. Thanks so much, Clark.
Thank you. Good to talk to you.